Hi everyone, it's James here from Pro Tools Expert, back with another gear review, and this time I would like to take the opportunity to show you round the rather lovely 4081 Quad Mic Pre from Neve. Now, this is the unit that I've been waxing lyrical about on the podcast for the last couple of weeks. It is absolutely stunning. It's stunning almost in its simplicity. It's a great sounding mic pre. In fact, it's 4 beautiful sounding mic pre's. The 1081 along with the 1073 are probably 2 of Neve's most sought after mic pre's. I've got a 1073 in 500 series just down there. But 4 1081s in a single box is a very, very cool product indeed. Doesn't get a lot of love, but I really don't understand why. It's a stunning piece of kit. What's also really cool about the 4081 is if you had 2 of them, and hey, why wouldn't you want 2 of them? You can bolt them together to form a full 19-inch rack 2U unit. 8 beautiful 1081 mic pre's in a single kind of rack. But this thing has some other tricks up its sleeve, which we'll go into shortly. So the review, as always, will go up close and personal, around the front, around the back, show you some of the options. I also want to show you this thing's pièce de résistance, if you will. Then I'll build a track, some acoustic guitar, vocals, percussion, all the normal stuff, just to show this thing off so you can actually hear it. I think that's really important with any of the reviews that I do generally, that you hear the signals. No processing, no nothing, maybe a bit of reverb just to give it some space, but you'll actually get to hear the quality of these mic pre's, because trust me, that is the buzzword, quality. So let's get up close and personal on the 4081. Here we are around the front of the 4081, and as you can see, we have our 4 separate mic pre channels and our kind of master section. We have our main power button, and if I turn it on, we get this funky kind of Vegas mode thing. There we go. And we have our master section. We'll come on to that shortly. Now, each of the 4 channels has a gain encoder, and this is an encoder rather than a pot. It's stepped. I'm a bit concerned about these, but hey, I'll come on to that later. I'm just not entirely taken by the quality of the pots. I'm sure they're great. They just feel a little bit wobbly. Each of the channels has 48 volt phantom power, a minus 20 dB pad, low impedance, mic or line, phase invert, and an insert switch. Now over here, things get quite interesting. There is an optional card slot in the back of the 4081 for either a digital output, and obviously we have our sample rate selection here, or there's a Firewire option, which means this can become your sound card for your Mac or PC. Very, very cool. Now, of course, if you start buying multiple units and you can actually run up to 16 simultaneous 4081s, that's quite a track count over Firewire. Very, very impressive. But in this particular unit, we don't have any of the options installed. It is just an analog mic pre with analog outputs. Here we are around the back of the 4081, and we have our 4 mic line inputs and our 4 mic line outputs. Very, very cool. All over nice, chunky steel connections rather than sort of plastic or anything like that. Very nice and solid. We then have the blanking panel for the digital I/O board. We then have the power supply input, and it's connected. We have a DB25. This is for the inserts for each of the 4 channels. What you would normally do is have a DB25 to jack or whatever your outboard is routed, and it takes care of all that. Very nice and neat. We then have a USB port and an RS485 port in and out. Now, what could that be for? Well, yes, you've guessed it. The 4081 is actually a digitally controlled mic pre. And if we go over onto my Mac, you can see we have the Neve Remote Mic Control app running. This is a separate application to Pro Tools, completely separate. And I can control all the elements of the mic pre from here. Very, very cool. Turn the phantom power on and off. Very handy. And you can see down here, if I had more 4081s, which I would like a great deal, I can have up to 16 being controlled by this piece of software. Incredibly cool. I can then save my configurations to quickly be able to work with more than one 4081 unit. Very, very cool. So yes, as you can guess, I'm a bit besotted with this thing. It's absolutely stunning. I love the 1081 sound. It's just that classic sound of rock and roll. If you drive it a bit harder, you can go even further, but I think this thing sounds absolutely mint. I love the fact that it's remote controllable. What I'd love to see Neve do is take the standalone software element, the software control of the 1081, and then maybe go a bit further with the development and push it in so it could be fully controlled like you can a DigiDesign Pre. That would be very, very cool. No third-party app, no extra stuff cluttering up your workspace. Just run it within Pro Tools. It would then show up as a preamp as it would with a DigiPre. Fantastic. But that isn't available just yet, and I'm not saying for a moment that they have done that. The only other thing I'm a little disappointed about is the actual feel of the pots. They do feel a little bit squidgy. Now, if you're careful, and let's face it, you're going to be careful with something like this, it's not a problem. I'm pretty sure they're not going to snap off, but it doesn't feel quite the same as the rather lovely chunky pot that's on my 1073 500 series. Now, the 500 series is about 900 quid a unit, and for about £2,000, or just over, pounds that is, you're getting 4 1081s in a box. So this thing is seriously good value for the audio quality you're getting out. But I'm just a bit concerned about those pots. Overlooking that, this thing sonically is stunning. So, hope you enjoy the track. Let me know what you think down there. Post some comments, I'm sure you will. But for now, I've been James from Pro Tools Expert, and I'll see you again soon for some more gear talk.
I walk with you to school each day, I walk you home at night. I've got 3 little words to say, but try hard as I might, I know I should not put it off or let time get in the way. I wanna sing this song for you every single day. I wanna sing this song for you every single day.